What's up, everybody? Happy Friday and happy 5-star day. I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers, bringing you guys your daily hail forecast, sponsored as always by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, and American Contractor. You guys can go ahead and check them out in the description to this video. So I'm sure a lot of you guys are here because you know we had our first and long overdue 5-star of the season. That was in Minneapolis, Minnesota, so we're going to go ahead and go over that. I unfortunately do not own a green suit, but I'm going to do my best to tell you guys all of the info and answer all your questions anyways. And then into today's forecast, we've got risks all the way from Ohio Valley down into Texas. With any of that, we could see hail and some gusty winds, so we're going to go over all that good stuff. And then into tomorrow, it might be a better risk tomorrow, honestly, for DFW than it is today, although you guys are in the risk for both. And then OKC, you guys are also in the risk for today as well. But DFW, we're going to talk a little bit more heavily about you guys, since, again, tomorrow could be a more interesting day for Dallas. So before we get into all of our weather, first things first, the NTRCA Not So Many trade show. This one is going to be at the Grapevine Convention Center in Grapevine, Texas on June 8th. So if you guys want to come out and say hello to the HailTrace gang and be a part of this awesome event, make sure to get signed up for that or register or whatever you do. Get on out to the NTRCA Not So Many trade show. Then we're going into our storm reports for yesterday, and we're going to talk a little bit about our 5-star map here. So no shock, we had quite a bit of activity here, so some severe hail through Minnesota, as well as the Ohio Valley from Missouri all the way into the coastal Carolinas and Virginia. Starting out with our 5-star area, we got some gusty winds, but most notably we got that severe hail that started over Minneapolis and then just blew up over the city as it tracked east. And then we got another storm that moved over La Crosse, but definitely the bulk of activity was centered over the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, which we'll take a look at in a moment. And then we also got a 4-star map for Kentucky. I, as a Kentuckian, was like, whoa, that's crazy. So lots of hail that went through the center of the state there, through Frankfort, through Elizabethtown, through the Lexington area as well. And then we got some nasty winds that went up through St. Louis. So there was a ton of stuff going on yesterday. We got a 4- and a 5-star map. So let's take a look at those here. So for our 5-star for Minneapolis, this one again is the first of the season. It's been forever since, like we haven't waited, I don't think, this long ever for a 5-star map. So this again was long overdue. Here's our swaths here from Minneapolis down to La Crosse. I know, I wish I had a green suit. I don't. I was like, ugh, but make do with what I have. So I had this first swath that went from Minneapolis all the way into Wisconsin, and then we had the second one over La Crosse that dropped some quarters to $half through La Crosse. But again, the bulk of our storm was centered over Minneapolis, St. Paul, dropped 2.5-inch hail through here. Max size on the map is 3 inches, but that is rural. Through Minneapolis and St. Paul, it was 2 to 2.5 inches through those red swaths, through St. Paul, and then through Baldwin as it continued to track off to the east, and then tapered off pretty much as quickly as it started. But again, that was enough to get us a ton of hail reports out of that. We got some reports of damage done as well, and again, some large hail going on with that. So Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Hudson, Wisconsin is the name of that map. Make sure to go check that out. We already have the review up for it and everything, so you guys can check out that map review, and John is going to talk about all the places that were hit most heavily by these large hail swaths. But again, the max hail size on this storm system through Minnesota and through Wisconsin was 3 inches, so definitely a force to be reckoned with. Impacted over 172,000 homes. So a crazy number of people between Minneapolis, St. Paul, and La Crosse all getting hit. Crazy amount of people that got impacted by this storm. Made it a solid 5-star, and again, the first of the year. So finally got that out of the way, and now we can move into the rest of the season. Then shifting down southward a little bit, Kentucky and the Ohio Valley also got a 4-star. So again, tons of hail went through Kentucky, lots of little swaths, but then some of them would just really ramp up out of nowhere and start dropping large hail here. So over Elizabethtown, in the Frankfort area, through Shelbyville, and through Lexington, we got some large hail that was the most notable, hit the most population there. So starting out down in E-Town all the way to Bardstown, got some nasty hail that moved through Boston, Kentucky. Lots of pictures of car windows that were just gone. Lots of dents done through that area from this large hail that passed through. Up in Shelbyville and Pleasureville and Eminence specifically got some large hail, up to 3 inches with that. And then Frankfort got up to 2 inches. Then shifting down towards Nicholasville, Lexington, and Winchester. That's where we got, again, another crazy swath here. Got up to baseball-sized hail moving through the Nicholasville area specifically. Got hit really hard with this storm system as it tracked up to the northeast, just barely missing Lexington, hit the far southeastern part of the city there, and then, you know, again, dropped some crazy large hail with that. So max size on this map was also 3 inches, and the map name is Frankfort, Elizabethtown, and Nicholasville, Kentucky hail. These both have been posted to our Facebook page, as well as the 5-star in Minneapolis has been posted to our Instagram, and the link is in our bio. We have that available pretty much everywhere for you guys. Make sure to download our app too so you can see all this great stuff. But the homes impacted on this Kentucky 4-star was almost 68,000. So a ton of people impacted by damaging hail and severe hail yesterday. And, you know, we're going to see what happens for today. Probably not going to be another 5-star day. We'll see. But we've got, you know, a cold front, and that cold front is what sparked all those storms in Minnesota and Wisconsin yesterday. So it was, you know, raging off to the east, and it's going to continue through that way, but, you know, dropping a little bit in its intensity through the upper Midwest. And then we've also got the shortwave trough that was causing all those storms in Kentucky. That's lifted up now into New England and is bringing all these storms into Pennsylvania right now. And we actually have a severe thunderstorm, and watch out for that area right now. This is going to be for gusty winds as well as scattered large hail events, possibly up to 2 inches with that. Seems so, you know, we could see that continue to develop over the next few hours. And then off in our risk area through the upper Midwest and Ohio Valley, we're still seeing these storms start to develop as they move over the Great Lakes region. Once they get past Green Bay and into Michigan, that's really when the action is going to start, and you're going to see this line start to just blow up progressively to the southwest as the day continues to go on, and we'll see hail and wind chances along that area. Oklahoma and Texas, in case you missed it yesterday, the complications with your risk today all involves the cap. You know, we're seeing a pretty strong cap through the area right now. If and when that breaks, which now it's looking more consistent that it will break, but when that does break, that'll help us get some hail through the area, and then it's going to continue to spread to the southeast, and then it's a question of storm mode. Can they stay isolated enough to get us large hail in Dallas? And we're going to take a look at that in a second. But for most of the country, it's going to be beautiful, and then this cold front's going to sweep through, and it's going to be a little bit colder into the coming hours here. So it's already trying to make its way through Oklahoma City. We're starting to see the temperature drop here at the Hail Palace. But down in Dallas, it's 88 degrees, 89 in Houston, 64 degrees up in Kansas City, and a nice warm 82 in Fort Wayne. So again, most of the east is nice and warm and humid, and then behind it, once that cold front sweeps through, it's going to kind of be a different story, and it should be kind of a pleasant weekend, honestly, like in the mid to upper 60s through central Oklahoma for your Saturday. So waiting for that cool weather to come through and storms on ahead of it. So here's our dew points. That's our humidity in the area. The deep greens just means it's super humid. 67 degree dew points in St. Louis, 69 in Dallas, 71 in New Orleans. And as that as that cold front continues to track through that area, again, we'll see some storms developing along that dry line and cold front combo. So here's our significant hail model ahead of that front. The warmer the values, the larger the hail likely. So with by 5 p.m., so this is central, eastern for some of you guys, but 5 p.m. central, we're going to see warm to moderate warm values popping up through St. Louis, through Chicago, into the Oklahoma City area. With that, we could see some larger hail developing with those scattered storms that initially pop up. And then as that line continues to track off to the southeast, we're going to see those start to kind of diminish into the evening and overnight hours. And then along this line, that's where we're going to continue to ramp up into Saturday. And we'll take a look at Saturday's forecast in a moment here. But here's our future radar talking about Pennsylvania as well as the upper Midwest here. So here we are right now. We already got those storms going through Pennsylvania. Those are going to continue to pop up. Here we are by 1:30, continuing to see those intensify over the next couple of hours. Could see some strong winds as well as some large hail with any of these loner storms through the central part of Pennsylvania. And then by 3:30, by 5, we're starting to see those continue to intensify here through the Midwest. And then these storms are going to continue to track off to the east, making a run for New York by around 6 p.m. Eastern time. And then we're going to start to see these bubbling up just a little bit, but this should be a late evening and overnight risk for most of us. So again, if it's going to be a clear day and you're like, I don't see a cloud in the sky, not to worry, it's coming, just it's going to be late at night. So here we are by 7 p.m. with these storms continuing to develop. And then these are starting to make their way off the coast by around 10. So once the Pennsylvania and New England risk ends, this one's going to start to get into full swing here. And any of these little tiny pop-ups could produce hail. We saw there's enough of that environmental instability to produce some large hail with those. But it's just kind of a weird, messy storm mode through the area. Now by 1 a.m. making its way through Chicago with a wind and hail chance, as well as the Grand Rapids, Michigan area, all the way down to Lincoln into St. Louis. Going to see that continue to kind of slowly track off to the east in the evening and overnight hours, not really losing a ton of intensity, you know, just maybe spotty coverage here and there by 6:30, but we're going to see that continue into Saturday. Then down into Texas, a little bit of a different graphic here. We're talking about the forecast as well as the cap. So these deep blues are the cap. If you're new, the cap is just something that inhibits storms from developing. It keeps them suppressed. And once that cap breaks, or once it warms up enough for that cap to break, that's what we need. We need it to heat up for this to go away. That's when storms can develop. So if you'll notice, by 2 p.m. we get this little tiny pocket near Lawton and Wichita Falls that opens up. So it warms up just enough here for that cap to pop open, and then by 5, there's our storms developing. Now the storm mode, again, that's going to be the other question. How long can those storms stay singular and isolated? And with this, I mean, it looks pretty messy. We could be getting some severe hail in that, especially initially when those storms first go up. But then check this out here. By 7 p.m., boom, boom. 2 lines developing near the Wichita Falls and Durant area, and those are going to continue off towards Dallas-Fort Worth, probably again packing a punch with some wind by 10 p.m. as they move into Dallas. Hail's also possible, but once you see these lines, those sizes on hail start to taper off and the wind chances pick up. So all risks are in play for you, Dallas. However, it's looking like it's going to be some gusty winds, possibly accompanied by some marginally severe hail as that tracks through. Also moving through Fort Smith by 10 p.m. and then finally making its way off to the east, and that cap kind of takes over, and we see those storms start to diminish by the early morning hours. So for our max hail size today, probably around 2 inches, 2.5 inches, with any of those initial storms that develop down in Texas, as well as possibly some through Pennsylvania if they get going enough. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some red swaths out there, but the longevity of those tennis ball sized stones is probably going to be pretty quick, pretty short-lived with those storms as they pretty much instantly form up into that band. So for our hail forecast for today, looking at Pennsylvania as well as this whole risk area through the Ohio Valley, Mississippi Valley, and then the Southern Plains. So just getting right into it, starting out, low-end chances to see hail in Green Bay. The storms are already kind of moving over you guys. But once they ramp up over the Great Lakes and move into Michigan, that's where we have a better chance of seeing some hail. So moderate chance for you guys in Gaylord, Michigan, in Grand Rapids, and in Chicago. Then, you know, as things continue in the overnight hours, we're going to see those hail sizes start to taper off, as well as the probabilities of seeing severe hail taper off. So low-end chances for Indianapolis, St. Louis, and Springfield. Then jumping down into Oklahoma City and DFW, low-end chances for hail for both of you guys. And, you know, we talked about the reasoning, but, you know, through Lawton and Wichita Falls, that's where we could get our largest hail potential right off of the bat, right from the beginning. And then again, as things band up and track eastward, we're going to see those sizes taper off. Dallas, stay tuned for tomorrow because I've got more for you. Then up into Pennsylvania, $quarter to $half possible anywhere through, I mean, the eastern and central part of Pennsylvania and southern New York as well. Hartford, Connecticut, low-end chance, you're on the northern end of that system, but where the bulk of that is already pushing through, that's where we'll have our largest hail sizes possible, as well as our largest hail probabilities. So Philadelphia, moderate chance for you guys. And anywhere in this region could see golf ball-sized hailstones, maybe even a 2-incher here or there, as that continues to track off the East Coast. Then for wind, we're going to look at the same areas here. Now, if you guys, again, are in northern Michigan, Chicago, that's where we have the best chances of seeing gusty winds with that more frequent storm coverage. Then down off into Detroit, Indy, St. Louis, Springfield, low end chance for you guys. Dallas and Oklahoma City, again, low end chance. Probably better chance, honestly, for Dallas with that line tracking through. So I would probably take this up to a moderate at this point. Dallas, it does look like it's probably going to be pretty gusty for you guys, but Oklahoma City, again, you're a little far north. So Dallas, definitely stay tuned for wind into tonight. Then Hartford, low end chance, Philadelphia, moderate chance for the same reasoning as hail. The bulk of that line is tracking right towards the Philadelphia and New York area. So just, again, stay tuned to that system as it continues to develop today. Then for tomorrow, we're going to see storms continuing to track eastward. That system is really going to keep on keeping on into tomorrow morning and afternoon. And here we are by 1 p.m. with some storms making their way into the Indianapolis area, St. Louis. And then we've got this band tracking through southern Missouri as well with some gusty winds. That's going to continue on through the afternoon, now making a run at Cleveland by 3 p.m. and then making its way towards Louisville by 6 p.m. Cincinnati by around 8. Any of these could be producing some isolated hail as well as some gusty winds with just collapsing storms here and there. Then it's going to continue through the evening and overnight hours. Got some rain moving into Kentucky, but the severity of our storms should taper off overnight. And then by 7 a.m., just scattered showers on your Sunday morning. So then down into the southern plains. This is where things get a little more interesting here. So got this first band of storms making its way through southern Missouri and northern Arkansas here by around 1 p.m. That's looking like it's probably going to be producing some nasty winds as it tracks through. Then here we are by 4. Okay, so we got this one that's moving through northern Arkansas. That could be a hailer, but this is really what I'm watching for you guys, Dallas-Fort Worth. We got those isolated storms developing right over the city. If this continues to play out this way, which there have been a few model runs at this point that have shown this result for our Dallas storm chances into tomorrow. Again, those initial storms are when we get that best shot at some large hail. So by 4 p.m. tomorrow, looking like storms developing over Dallas. And then there we are by 6:30, still some isolated storms that could be producing, oh, that one's just barely off the bottom of the screen, but could be producing some large hail for tomorrow evening for the DFW area. As that continues, then it starts to band up as it tracks away from the city and towards Shreveport. So Shreveport, you could get yet another chance at some gusty winds. I know you've had a few this year. And then this nasty bow making its way through Memphis here. And again, that looks like it's getting wind driven quite a bit on our forecast here as that tracks through the Memphis area by around 10 p.m. Moving its way eastward, we're going to see that line continue, but it's going to, again, drop down in intensity by Sunday morning. And then, waking up in Arkansas, in Dallas, in southern Missouri to just some rainy showers on Sunday morning. So for our hail forecast to tomorrow and our wind forecast, the swaths look pretty much the same for our wind and hail areas. Anywhere from New England all the way down into Texas and the southern Mississippi Valley is where we could get those hail chances. And then along that cold front, that's where we have that highest instability. So popping up our hail sizes just a little bit with that as well. So Buffalo, New York, Detroit, Michigan, low-end chances for you guys. But then once we hop down into, again, where that bulk of the cold front is driving through, where we see the most instability, that's where our chances pop up a little bit. So St. Louis and Indianapolis, moderate for you guys. Then down into Fort Smith, Dallas-Fort Worth, San Antonio. It's going to be scattered coverage, so low-end chance. But again, stay tuned for tomorrow's forecast, because if the models continue to verify like they have over Dallas-Fort Worth, then we might have a different story on our hands. So low-end chances for now, but we're really watching this area to see what happens over the coming hours. Then we'll get you through the weekend here. So this is our future jet stream right now. 3 o'clock on Friday, or 3 o'clock today, I guess, a couple hours from now. We got this cold front that's going to continue to sweep through the Mississippi and Ohio valleys. And with that, we'll see that storm intensification and development. Then by Saturday afternoon, it's kind of lingering in the same area, and that's why our risk area is looking the same tomorrow as it is today, is because this trough really isn't moving much. It's not really going to budge as we get that cold front just kind of sinking over the central states or central Mississippi Valley and the southern plains there. Then finally it starts to make a little bit of a move by Sunday morning, and we'll see it continue to track off towards the east by Monday afternoon, and then we could start to get some more storm development in the south here with that trough as it continues to deepen and track eastward. So could be more of a southern southeast risk into the beginning of next week, but for now it's just going to be Ohio Valley down to Texas for the next couple of days, repeat risks until this trough finally gets off and on the move. So if you guys want to stay tuned to all of our risks, and if you want to see that 5-star map information as well as the 4-star map for Kentucky, follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit See First on Facebook so you never miss a live video, and then also follow us on TikTok for all the fun things we do at our office as well as storm chasing footage. And then if you want to get in contact with us, you can call us at 855-334-4245. You can also email us if you'd rather at info@hailtrace.com, or check out our website, hailtrace.com, for more details on who we are and what we do. We'll keep you advised, as always, to your severe weather risks. And for now, I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers. Thanks for watching.